Great. Okay, we are rolling. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to Calm and Restore 2. We have the wonderful Jessica Shirley here today, who is a certified health education specialist, yoga instructor, health coach. She has myriad of skills in the realm of wellness and self-care and movement. So we're really fortunate to have her here again with us this month to do some review of our class from last month and take a bit of a deeper dive. So, Jessica, thank you again for making yourself and your knowledge and your lovely presence available to us. Dana, I'm going to ask you to turn your microphone
Okay,
off really quickly.
let's see.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Jessica, thank you. Go for it.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Reggie. Oh, did I stop sharing my screen? I'm sorry, give me just a second. I accidentally changed my view.
No, you're okay. Your screen is right there. You're good.
And I can't see it. I'm sorry, I don't know what I just did. Please forgive me just a second.
That's okay. It's part of technology.
Do you mind if I stop share and then
No,
try
don't
the,
totally do whatever you have to do. Sometimes that's the best way.
just let me start. I apologize.
No, it's all right.
Are you back there?
Not yet, but it might take it. There it is. Yep, we see it. All
Okay.
right, great.
Thank you so much, Reggie, for the introduction and the help there. Thank you for coming today, everybody. And I hope that you're able to take tidbits from today's class and make a little practice of your own. Dana was giving us some wonderful feedback from the first class that I'm very excited to hear about. Okay, so for today, our learning outcomes we're going to review the basic functions of the vagus nerve. We're going to review the benefits of stimulating the vagus nerve. We're going to review breath, sound, and movements from last time that stimulate the vagus nerve, as well as introduce a few more movements, breaths, and sounds to add to your list of tools. And then the last learning outcome today is that I want you to feel confident that you have the tools that you need to develop your own at-home practice. So let's dive in. Okay. So if you were here the first time, the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It runs from the bottom of the brain to the large intestines all the way down, but it passes through your heart, lungs, and digestive organs along the way. It's a key part of the parasympathetic nervous system, which controls everything from resting heart rate, breathing, and digestion. And that's also what puts us in that fight or flight response. So this system helps activate the body's relaxation response to shift you out of that fight or flight and into a state where healing can actually occur. So when we're in that fight or flight, our body produces blood clotting chemicals, cortisol, and all kinds of things that are not healthy when it's constantly being pumped in our body. Those things are meant for short. Back in the day when a saber-toothed tiger chased you, you ran and you got those chemicals out of your body and then the threat was gone. And then if we're stuck in that state, then those chemicals are constantly released in our body with no way to get out. So stimulating the vagus nerve is one way to regulate that. Okay, benefits, a review of the benefits of stimulating the vagus nerve. We're going to reduce stress and anxiety, improve mood and focus, reduces inflammation, which can help with pain and joint pain. It'll slow the heart rate, and it'll regulate breathing. And these are just a few of the many benefits from stimulating the vagus nerve. So the yoga tools that come into play to stimulate this wonderful nerve are breath work, movement, sound, tying it all in together with a meditation. Or the meditation can just simply be breath work, or sound. And then adding in self-soothing, which seems comforting to you. That might be placing your hand on your heart, placing your hand on your belly, It might be giving yourself a hug. It might be tapping. Some people feel a sense of calm by doing a little bit of tapping on specific points. I can get into that in another class. But self-soothing is also a great yoga tool. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my chair and we are going to dive in to the breathing activities. I'm gonna stop that for now. So then you can see me more clearly. All right. I like to sit in my chair. Am I too close, Reggie? Yeah. I like to sit in my chair when I'm doing doing all the belly breathing and all the different types of breathing. It helps me to sit up nice and tall. You may choose to lie on your back on the floor. You may choose to sit in comfortable rest position on the floor. You may want to cross your legs. Do whatever feels comfortable to you in order for you to sit up nice and tall on your sit bones. There's a string pulling you up on the top of your head. We're going to relax our abdominal area. We're not going to suck in anything as we get started. Make sure if you are seated and not cross-legged that your feet are planted on the floor. And we're going to start with a deep belly breath. And as you remember, the deep belly breath, for this class's purpose, I'm going to use a 6 to 8 count for most of these breaths. We're going to inhale through our nose for a 6 to 8 count and exhale through our nose for a 6 to 8 count. Okay. So hands can be on your thighs, palms up, or on palms down. It's up to you. We're going to start. You count in your head. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you make it that high, and hold. For 1 count, exhale just as slowly through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, pause at the bottom. We're going to do about 3 rounds of the deep belly breath as a refresher. Inhaling through the nose for a 6 to 8 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Exhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. A couple more times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, in through the nose. Hold at the top. And exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now, as we breathe in, you want to let your chest expand, your belly expand, just filling up all the cavities, like east, west, north, south. Fill up your entire torso with your breath. And that goes with all of these breaths. And at the end, if you have any questions on any of these, I will save time that we can review. So, if you just make a little note or maybe type in the chat box if there's something that you are having trouble with. So, and also if anyone, like as we do the different breaths, the ha breaths, if there's any issues with TMJ, no worries in opening the mouth wide. I'm going to make sure I give modifications. So, and that goes with the ocean breath. So the ocean breath is similar to the deep belly breath, except for we exhale through the mouth. And we make kind of like a nice little wave sound with the exhale. So I'll demonstrate. I'm not sure if you will be able to hear my exhale, but so again, sitting nice and tall, relaxing the abdominal cavity, hands on your thighs, breathing in through your nose for a 6 to 8 count. Breathe in. Hold at the top. And then nice slow exhale through the mouth. And if you want to just part your lips just to get a little bit of breath out, there's no need to open wide for this breath. So I'm going to give y'all a couple of rounds of practice to review the ocean breath. Breathing in through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold, and and we exhale through our mouth, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. So we're kind of making the sound of a nice soft ocean wave with, try to hear the breath coming into the nose and out through the mouth. Breathe in. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold and exhale through the mouth. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold one more time. In through our nose, relaxing our abdominal cavities. Continue. I'm not counting this round. I'm giving you cues, filling up the north and south, east and west, every part. Fill it up. If you think you can't get any more breath in, take another breath, hold, and then nice, small, slow exhale through the mouth. So deep belly breath, nose only, in and out. Ocean breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, lips slightly parted. The bee's breath is pretty similar to the humming breath, which I introduced last week, but I replaced it this week with the bee's breath to have a little something new. So the bee's breath, everything's the same. We're going to sit nice and tall in our chair, feet on the floor, or nice and tall in our seated comfortable position on the floor, or laying on our back. And this time, I want you to, before we begin the breathing practice, I just want you to practice a hum, kind of like a bee. We're going to pretend that we're a bee. We're going to sit here and just practice a hum for a couple of breaths. Now, it doesn't matter which pitch, you may find a lower hum more pleasing to your body, or you might want a higher hum. I tend to prefer the lower, but you want to really focus on the noise and the vibration. Vibration is another thing that will help in addition to the sound for stimulating the vagus. So let's give this a try together. We'll shoot again for the 6 to 8 count, inhaling through our nose, nice and tall, relaxing our abdominal muscles, filling up our cavity with breath as we inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Then it comes in the hum as we exhale. And I just want everyone to try a couple of these on their own with whatever pitch sounds good to them, feels good to their body. Inhaling through our nose for a 6 to 8 count. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. Exhale, hum. One more. Inhaling through our nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold as we exhale our hum. Now, with the bee's breath, if you choose to hum and on your exhalation a little longer than the 6 to 8 count, that's okay. Your body may need that. It may be telling you that. So make it your own practice. And if you want to increase that on your own, and maybe you want to do a 8 to 12 count, or maybe you can't really do that. Maybe you're only doing like a 4 count. Make this your own practice. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If your body feels good to your body, do it. Okay, so with the ha breath, this is one we went over last week, and it's very similar to the rest as far as how we start. You sit neutral position, on our back, seated or on the floor, inhaling through our nose for a 6 to 8 count, holding at the top, relaxing our muscles. Your shoulders are relaxed down and back. On the exhale, we're going to give a nice big ha. Now, if we cannot open our jaw very wide, instead of the ha, I just want you to go Don't open, just let your lips part, let some sound come out. I'm gonna, okay. So let's give that a try. The ha breath. Inhaling through our nose, relaxing, feet planted on the floor, shoulders back. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. And it's a little harder to draw it out for 6 to 8 count than it is to inhale. I want you to try. All right, let's give it a couple more tries. Inhaling through our nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold. Okay. One more. In through our nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Okay. And it can be when you're in your own space and nobody's listening, it can be a I mean, just let it out. Let it out. This is a lot of instinctual behind these blue sky bombs. So for the alternative nostril breathing, I like to sit on my heels, but you can stay seated. And we went over this one last week. So the only new one this week is the beast breaths. I just wanted to, these are some of the best and most basic. So I wanted to kind of keep most of these the same. So for our alternate nostril breathing, we take and we make bullhorns. And then we bring them in. And we are going to start with whichever side works for you. We're going to inhale through one side while we close one. Then we're going to exhale through the other side. Inhale back through that side. Close. Exhale. Okay. Breathe in. Close. Exhale. Breathe in. Close. Exhale. Okay, and I want you to continue practicing this while I give you a few more tips. Through this one, we want to make sure we still keep ourselves nice and tall, shoulders down and back, belly relaxed. And you're going to be breathing in through one side and exhaling through the other. And inhale through the same side and then exhale through the other. So you always start to breathe in on the opposite side of the exhalation. And I hope that makes sense. So let me go through that one more time. Breathe in. Close, exhale. Breathe in. Close, exhale. Breathe in. Close, exhale. Okay. So those are our breathing exercises for today. And then next, again, I'm going to stay off screen here because I'm going to be demonstrating. We're going to review the movements from last month. So we did easy pose, child's pose, mountain pose, forward fold, the cat-cow, a seated twist, tree pose, and resting pose. And I'm going to review those briefly. I just want to make sure I see myself. Am I very clear? I couldn't see myself.
You are. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We can see kind of like belly button up right now.
Right now?
Right now, we can see you belly button up, kind of like.
See, I'm seeing my face in this.
Well, your face, when you sit back away from the camera, like back,
Oh.
we can see kind of like.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry.
Maybe what looks like that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Got it. There we go. All right. So for easy pose, that is just like it sounds. It's seated, whatever's comfortable for you. So for me, it can be in the chair, right? You can just cross leg, or you can do this on the floor. But what you want to do is we're not going to worry about lotus or any of the getting the leg up here, any of that right now. I just want a comfortable cross leg position. If cross leg is not comfortable for you, it can be a comfortable feet on the floor position. Okay. You could also, if you wanted to try to build up, you could try one leg at a time if that's comfortable, but it should be easy, ultimately, easy pose. This is a great pose for meditation. It's a great pose to come back to in between all the transitions or any of the other movements that we do. So, and if there are any questions on easy pose, please remember to type that in the chat box. Child's pose. So this one is very grounding. I'm going to first demonstrate traditional child's pose on the mat, and then I will show some variations that can be done seated, or kneeling. So if y'all will bear with me. So for traditional child's pose, we're going to come to the mat and we're going to squat and sit on our heels. Now, I recommend that you separate your knees, but you can also keep them together. But to get started, separating the knees kind of in a V can be helpful to come closer to the ground. So from here, I want you to just walk your hands out, and your goal is to put your forehead on the mat and your hands reaching forward. Okay, without lifting your glutes off of your heels. So that's the goal for traditional child's pose. You can also put your arms by your side. Outreach is called active child's pose. This is passive child's pose. This can be a very comforting position to be in. If getting all the way down on the floor isn't comfortable for you, what you can do is you can put a chair in front of you and reach out, rest your forehead on the chair, and start here. This would be one I would want to sit on my heels with the toes curled underneath to kind of give myself a little bit of a lift. And just relax into active child's pose. You could also, if getting on the knees is not an option, in your chair, you want to find a surface that you can sit in front of you. So maybe you're going to go up to a table, or maybe you can put a chair next to your bed, and then you're going to reach forward and do the same thing seated. Okay. So we're going to do only passive child's pose if we're on the floor, but we do active, the other modifications. So active, if you're seated next to a table or your bed. Active, if you're kneeling on the floor and using your chair. So child's pose is really one of my favorites, and one of the most regulating and comforting for me. I highly recommend it. Next, we have mountain pose. This is another one of those kind of like easy pose. It's one that we can always return to. It's a grounding standing. So make sure your feet are hip width apart. Make sure all four corners of your feet are grounded. Pick up your toes, spread them out. Make sure all pads of your toes are grounded in addition to the corners of your feet. You're going to have your arms by your side. Palms open and facing forward. Fingers reaching towards the ground. Rolling our shoulders down and back. Our knees are soft and slightly bent. And I'd just like you to practice your favorite breath one time while we hold this simple standing position. So that one is mountain pose. Okay, so next we have the forward fold. So for a seated forward fold, you sit on the edge of your chair, and I actually prefer one leg at a time for this. So you're going to Keep one foot on the ground if you're seated, one leg straight forward. Extended, toes pointed toward the ceiling. Back is straight. We're going to hinge from our hips with our hands on our thighs for stabilization. And we're just going to lean forward, not rounding our back until we feel that stretch in our hamstrings behind the back of the leg. Okay? So nice straight back. Continuing those deep breaths while we do this. I would hold each pose for at least 5 to 6 breaths before switching sides, before switching. And some of these you can hold for minutes at a time. Do what feels comfortable for you. I might hold a spinal twist for 5 minutes on one side of my body and then do the other side, which we're going to do those in a second. So then we want to bring the other foot in, back to our forward fold. And then exhale our other leg out. Again, one foot is planted on the floor, one is straight, hinge from your hips, flat back, forward fold, and breathe. Now for standing, I'm a yoga teacher. I always have to do a swan dive. I don't just go straight down. So we're going to inhale our arms up overhead, reach towards the sky, and then exhale into a forward fold. Again, same thing. We want our back to be straight. It's not about touching the floor. It's about feeling a nice stretch in the back of your legs, releasing tension in your low back, and stimulating the vagus nerve with the breath work and the movement. Okay. So this, you can also cross your arms and let your head hang if that feels good to you. And we want you to make this your own practice. Then for the seated forward fold, you just simply sit on your mat, straighten your legs in front of you. I always like to do my inhale up overhead and exhale forward, keeping that back straight. Wherever your hands land is fine. Your hands can land on your knees as far as you can go, that is fine. There is no judgment or competition or standard here. You do what is comfortable to your body. And then if you would like to do a wide forward fold, you can always widen your legs, make a V shape, and do the same thing. Inhale up, exhale forward, landing in between those wider legs. And you can do that standing or sitting as well. A little bit wider stance. Forward fold. And then seated. Same thing. I still prefer one foot. You can do both if you're seated at the same time. I just feel like that you're more stable and have better balance if you keep one foot on the floor when you're seated and do one leg at a time. So that's the forward fold. That's one of the most important for helping with low back pain. I mean, for chronic, like tight hamstrings are a very big culprit for that. Cat cow, one of my favorites. All right. So I'm going to start with the traditional cat cow. This one is done on all fours. Okay, so we're going to get on our mat, stack hips over knees, shoulders, elbows, wrists. For those with sensitive wrists, we can use fists for wrists. Like I did this before. So when you do fists for wrists, you make sure you keep the thumb tucked in. Do not stick it inside your fingers. Keep it on the outside and don't stick it out like a tree stand. You want to make sure that you cover the outside of your fingers with your thumb to keep your hands and wrists safe if you have sensitive wrists, and we're using fists for wrists. So from here, we're going to inhale up, slowly look at the ceiling, arch our tail back and pull our tailbone towards the ceiling as well. Then we're going to exhale, drop the tailbone first and slowly round the spine and drop the head in the opposite direction. And we're going to flow with our breath. Do this 3 or 4 times, inhaling up, looking towards the ceiling, arching our back like a cat, tailbone towards the ceiling as well as the head, the gaze. Exhale, drop the tailbone, curling, rounding the spine, dropping the head. One more. Inhale up. And exhale down. Getting motion and movement into the spine. And this can be done seated. You can use easy pose, cross leg and do it. You can sit in a chair and do it. So I'm going to sit in a chair. And when you're sitting in a chair, I like to keep my hands on my thighs, and it's the same movement. You're inhaling up, arching the back, looking towards the ceiling, opening the chest. We're going to exhale, tuck the tailbone around the back, and drop the head, chin to chest. Inhale up, opening up the chest, the belly, looking towards the ceiling. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Curl the tailbone forward, rolling the spine in, drop your head, chin to chest. All right. So those are some great spine movement and fluidity motions that I love. So that is the cat-cat. We have a seated spinal twist next. And since I'm in the chair, I'm going to start here. So I want you to simply take your right hand and place it on your left knee. I want you to take your left hand and place it behind and next to your back. Straighten. You can see me. I've just got my hand in my chair, my arms against me. And we're gonna turn and we're gonna look over our left shoulder. So right hand on left knee, left hand on our chair behind us. We're gonna turn and look over our left shoulder. And while we're holding this, I want deep breaths. In through your nose, it can be out through your nose or mouth. And when we take these deep breaths in our spinal twist, it massages our internal organs, our digestive organs. You may feel a little hungry after a good spinal twist. And breathe. Release. I'm going to come back to center. Now, I always like to do a little knee hug in between spinal twists. Make sure we realign the spine. You can just do one knee at a time, or you can do both together. It's whatever's comfortable for you. Feet back on the floor. And this time we're going to place our left hand on our right knee, on the outside of our right knee. We're going to place our right hand behind us in the chair or the floor, wherever we're seated. And we're going to turn and look over our right shoulder. Okay. Turn and look over our right shoulder. Deep breaths while we hold, twisting the spine. And every time you exhale, maybe you go a little deeper into the twist. Maybe you twist a little bit more to the right. Both legs still face forward, both feet forward. Only the torso is twisting. Deep breaths. Release back to center. When you're ready, no rush. A gentle reminder of those knees one at a time or both together. I also introduced tree pose last time. So this one is for balance. This one can be done seated. So I'm going to show you the original pose first, and then I'll show you modifications. So tree pose. If you're comfortable standing and you want to give it a shot, but it's a little iffy, I highly recommend either putting a chair next to you or stand next to the wall. Use it for support. So the goal is to stand on one leg and see and work on your balance. Now, you can pick your leg up, your foot up, and put it on the inside of your thigh above the knee, or you can place it below the knee joint, but we do not want to put our foot on the knee joint itself and press, because that is not good for our joint to press it in that manner. So whatever's comfortable for you. And if you're not comfortable being on one foot, maybe you just put your heel on your inner thigh and leave a toe on the floor. Okay. Maybe this is where I'm at. I find it helpful to find a spot anywhere in the room, the wall, the floor, and stare at it, focus. The balance really it really helps with the balancing practice. So you want to give that a shot, do whatever version feels comfortable for you. Take a few breaths. This helps with balance and agility, helps reduce falls. Okay, and you want to make sure you do both sides in an equal amount of time, or breaths, equal amount of breaths. If that doesn't feel very comfortable for you, then I would suggest sitting on a chair or a firmer surface, nothing too soft. And then just simply pick up one leg at a time and see if you can hold this. This requires balance. You're welcome to put your foot over here, but I suggest just holding up one leg at a time. That's also some lower abdominal work too. Then bonus points. Lift one leg at a time, just working on balance. You still have to engage your core. You still have to engage your pelvic floor. And this is a place to build up. From here, once this starts to become easy, then you can stand and just pick your toes up. Pick your heels up and keep your toes on the floor. And from there, you're going to work your way up and achieve whichever version feels good to you. So that is one of my favorite balancing poses. And the last one to review is resting pose. And that one can simply be somewhere where you can find a comfortable position. You can relax back in your chair. The traditional resting pose is done lying down on the mat. And arms by your side, palms up. If you can lay on the mat, but this feels uncomfortable to your low back, you can either put a bolster or blanket under your knees, or you can bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. This is still a comfortable resting position. And do not have a modification for standing, because that's a little hard to rest in standing position. But so you can either, again, find a nice comfortable chair that you can lean back in, meditate as well there, or you can hop on the mat and lay down. And that is honestly, that one and resting position are some of my favorite meditation positions. So that is our review from last month. I have added a few new movements. Okay, let's dive into these. Okay, so the psoas release. This one is huge. If you're not familiar with the psoas, it is a deep internal muscle that connects the spine and in the hips to the hips. It is one of the muscles that gets very tense when we are in fight or flight. It is one of the muscles that in my trauma yoga teacher training, that was the main focus of the entire training, was to release the psoas, because if you can release the psoas, a lot of other things will follow. So I'm going to give you two options for a psoas release, because one is seated and one is standing and laying down. So for the low lunge psoas release, okay, get on the mat. I'm going to start by stepping my right foot forward and bending my left knee and relaxing it onto the mat. So I'm not in any kind of actual lunge or warrior one pose. I'm right here. I got my right leg, foot on the floor, 90-degree angle, hips and knees. From here, I'm going to lean in as much as is comfortable until I feel that stretch right here. on the left side. So you're going to be feeling this. You should feel this more if you've got your right leg in front. You should feel it more in the back left leg. And you can lean forward as far as it's comfortable for you. And deep breaths and hold. This is our psoas release. If if coming forward too much doesn't feel good, then come back out of it a little bit. You're going to use that right leg to control the movement. Leaning forward for more of a stretch. Leaning back more upright for a gentler stretch. This is our psoas release. Now, if this isn't something that seems like it would be comfortable to you, you can lay on your mat. And remember, when we're doing our spinal twist, we do that one knee at a time. It's also a psoas release when you're laying on your mat. So you're just going to lay back. Pull one knee in at a time, as deep as you can, and hold and breathe. Pulling it into your chest. And trying to relax into the stretch. I'm going to hold one side for a good 4, 5, 6 breaths or longer. And then switch sides. Bring in the other knee one at a time and as deep as you can. Now, let me be clear. When I say hold something for 4, 5, 6 breaths, one breath is your inhalation and your exhalation. 6, 8, 10 count either way. So one breath is the full cycle. So when you hold something 4 to 6 breaths, be sure that you're counting the full cycle. Now, if laying on the ground isn't comfortable, you can actually do this in bed. This one, the knee to chest psoas release. You can do this in bed. You can do it on the floor, or if you're in a chair, very similar to when we were finishing up our spinal twists. Make sure you sit all the way back and you're good in good foundation, and then you can still do that one at a time. Just bring that knee in if you're seated. So these are a couple of ways to release the psoas. There's many more. I could probably do an entire class on psoas later if that's of interest to people. But those are two of my favorite ways to do that. Okay, so the next thing on the list is the flowing bridge. So bridge pose, I'm going to start with traditional. Is we're on the mat, laying down, feet on the floor, knees bent. Feet should be hip width apart and feet firmly planted. When you inhale, you're going to lift the pelvis slowly towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, you're going to slowly relax back down onto the mat. So this is why it's called a flowing bridge. If you just held the position, that's bridge, okay? But we're going to flow with ours. So we're going to inhale up, lift the pelvis up slightly, making sure our shoulders stay on the mat, protecting our neck. And exhale back down nice and slow. And I do have a modification for the chair. One more time on the floor. Inhale up, lift the pelvis, make the bridge. And exhale down. For the chair, what you can do is sit on the towards the edge of the chair. You're going to grab the edge, your fingers forward, and both feet are firmly planted on the floor. You're going to inhale and just slide off, lift the pelvis as much as feels comfortable to you, and exhale back to seated. Inhale off slightly, lifting, and exhale back to seated. So that is our flowing bridge. There's really, if you're standing, here's a subtle one you can do for standing modification. If those are all too difficult, you can simply tuck the pelvis in and rock it back. Tuck it in and rock it back. Getting some movement in the pelvic bowl, as they like to call it in Pilates. They call this little triangle a pelvic bowl. Smooth that pelvic bowl in, breathing it in and out. Okay, so that's our standing modification for flowing bridge. We showed you on the floor, and then the seated modification is to lift. I think I just have a couple more. All right, so how many of y'all are familiar with plank? You can just like wave thumbs up. Okay. And I know people are like, oh, plank, but hey, I've got modifications. So it does stimulate the vagus nerve. It's very good for your core. It's very good for your upper body strength. So I need to be seen on a wall. I didn't plan for that. Can you see me if I go against this wall over here? So I'm going to show you how to do plank.
Yeah, give it a try. Yeah,
Okay,
show us and see. Yep.
So I'm gonna y'all see me?
Yep. Yep.
So for starting, if you want to do plank on a wall standing, you can do straight arms or you can be on your elbows. But you can simply come close to the wall, put your elbows or hands on the wall, step back a little bit, and then just try to hold it. Okay. On the floor, traditional plank. So if you could not see that really well, you can translate what I'm doing onto a wall. Okay. So traditional plank is straight arms, stacked shoulders, elbows, and wrists. You can use fists for wrists. And then you just keep your core nice and tight. We try to avoid any of this, or we try to avoid any of that, but it's nice and even. Modification, drop to the knees, and keep the back straight as well. Another modification, elbows in on the knees, elbows, straight legs. Okay. And then I think there's not really a lot to do seated with that. I think the wall is probably the best bet. Again, standing, straight arm or standing, and then you step your feet back 1 to 2 steps. Keep that core nice and tight. Again, if there are any questions about any of this, just please let me know. I'm going to get to that and we will put it in the chat box and I'll promise to answer everything. All right, so I'm going to do downward facing dog and let that be all of the new for today. Because it is kind of a lot, I know. Downward facing dog is the modification is going to look a lot like a modification of child's pose, but I'm going to start with traditional. Okay, so we're going to start in our mountain pose, y'all remember? Nice standing position. We're going to inhale up our arms overhead. And then we're going to move into our forward fold. And I know y'all remember that. See, these all tie together. Now, you're going to bend your knees slightly so that you can place your palms flat on the floor. And then you're going to slowly step your legs back 1 at a time. You're going to basically make an upside down V with your body. But don't worry about your legs being straight. Keep them bent. You're more worried about your spine being straight. Bring your chest towards your knees. And if you want to straighten your legs, by all means, do so. You could also alternate, like bring one leg in and straighten one and see how that feels, planting your heel on the ground. Okay. And then to come out of this, you can either use plank, or you can walk your feet forward into your forward fold and stand. Now, our modification for down dog is to take your chair, place your hands firmly in the chair, make sure it won't slide, it's pressed up against a wall or on a rug, and then you're just going to press back until that feels comfortable for you. My feet are still on the floor. Okay. And you can bend your knees some. Getting a nice stretch in our shoulders, opening the chest. This is our down dog modification, and you can rock back and forth. You can do You can do plank elevated like this if that's more comfortable for you. And you can rock back into down dog. Modified plank to modified down dog. All of these will flow together and we can get to practice in just a few. All right. Bear with me here. I'm gonna get back to sharing my screen. Okay, so we went over sound and vibrations last week. And this is mostly a review. I added a few things in here. But you can simply hum, like we do with the humming breath or the bee's breath. Different pitches, higher pitch might sound better to you. So a lot of these have been incorporated already, as has the soft ah sound, kind of like our ah or our ha breath, breathing in, ah, or ah. Just some simple little sounds. And I'm sure many of you have heard the traditional or you can focus more on the M or the O. And then if it doesn't feel good to open your mouth very wide to get that nice O, you can focus mostly on you can just, you don't have to do the O part as much. We also talked about VOO. Sensing the vibrations, you might feel that a little bit in your throat, in your neck, your chest, helps stimulate. LAM is another one that's connected to the root chakra. If you're familiar with chakras in yoga, the energy pathways in the body. So it's the foundation of the neurological bundles in the body is the root chakra is the first one. There's 7 main ones. LAM, you can accentuate the ah or the but LAM. You may have affirmations that you want to say. Words matter. I am worthy. I am loved. I am beautiful. I am grounded. I am safe. I am secure. It can be anything you want it to be. You may feel happy singing. Singing is a form. You can have your mantras and you can sing your favorite song, or I introduced one last time that I didn't bring back this week, Satanama. If you want to watch that video from last class. So sing, let it out. Sound bowls, listening to sound bowls, drumming. You could, any of the music platforms out there, Spotify, Amazon Music, or YouTube, you can find a lot of these recordings. They can do some really wonderful things to the vagus nerve and stimulate it. So these are some sounds and vibrations that are some tools that you can use, and you want to choose whatever feels most comfortable for you. And then meditation tips expanded. So I just added a few more to the list for this time. You always want to focus on your breath. If your mind wanders, return to the breath. Because your mind wanders does not mean you are bad at yoga. You're not bad at meditation. It's very natural. The point is to just always keep that focus and keep that center. You might add in some self-soothing by placing your hand on your heart and your belly. You might visualize. Studies have shown you if you visualize your muscle doing a movement that it doesn't actually do, the brain still fires. Visualization is very powerful, and you can increase muscle mass by 20 to 30% if you visualize while you're performing, or it's just incredible. So visualize yourself grounding into the earth, visualize yourself relaxing, visualize your nerve being stimulated, visualize anything that makes you feel safe, happy, and secure. Set a timer. Maybe you don't want to have to think about, oh, how long am I going to be here? What if I fall asleep? Set a timer, and then you don't have to think about it. Choose a noise on the alarm that is soothing as well, so you're not startled out of your meditation. Play soothing music if that works for you. And then I added a few other things this time. You want to make sure you soften your jaw and shoulders. I don't know if you might have a grinding problem. And in TMJ, I do. I grind quite frequently and have to remind myself. Make sure your shoulders aren't next to our ears, okay? They shouldn't be there. Let's keep them down. Let's keep them relaxed. Let's relax the jaw. You want to breathe into the tight spots in your body. I don't know if you may know what that feels like. Once you really start forcing those breaths, like we talked about, filling up all parts of the cavity. I mean, I often find spots, oh, that feels tight right here when I'm doing my breath work. Breathe into the tight spots. Use props as needed. If you need to put a pillow under your legs, a bolster, if you need to put something behind your back, use props as needed and be comfortable. Blanket, whatever. Close your eyes if it feels safe. If it doesn't, do not. Make sure you pause between breaths. You know how we hold at the top, we hold at the bottom. We want to pause between breaths and always end with gratitude. So those are my meditation tips expanded. Drank a little sip of my tea. So let's practice. Okay. Expand my. All right, there we are. Let's take a few minutes. Can y'all see me, or did I not? I stop sharing, Donna? Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Let's practice, y'all. So get in your easy, comfortable position, whatever works for you. And actually, no, I'm going to say get in resting position. Let's get started in resting position today. So if you want to lay on the floor, go ahead and lay on the floor in resting position, or find your comfortable chair and sit back. Just make sure your feet are grounded and on the floor. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, feel safe. I'm going to place my hands, palms up on my thighs. I like to touch my index and thumb and make circles. That is not necessary, but it's just good for energy flow, opening the palms up. Then we're going to start with just a deep belly breath for 3 to 4 rounds. Okay, remember 1 round is inhale and an exhale together, holding at the top, holding at the bottom. Let's begin. Breathing in through our nose. 4, 5, 6, 8. Holding at the top. Exhale through our nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold. Breathe in through our nose. 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale through our nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. One more breath here on your own. In through your nose, out through your nose. Very good. All right, since we're laying back, we're kind of relaxed here a little bit. We're going to keep one foot on the floor. We're going to do a little psoas release. We're going to pull up our left leg and see if we can hug our knee. Pull it in as much as it's comfortable for you. And if this isn't comfortable, maybe see if you can just cross it. Let's see if we can bring that leg in. And while we hold, we're going to focus on our breath. Let's give this side 3 breaths. You can choose any breath you like. I'm going to do either the deep belly or the ocean breath, bringing in through our nose and out through our nose or mouth. Starting now, breathing in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More time. Breathe in. 4, 5, 6. Hold. And exhale. Six. Let's do one more on our own. Deep breath in. And release. Switching legs. So whichever one you started with, let's put that one back down on the floor, pick the next one up, 3 breaths here, because you gotta do the same breaths on each side. Breathe in through our nose, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then hold. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hold. 2 more times. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold. One more on your own. Breathe. Finish your last breath. We're going to put both feet back on the floor. And we're going to do a little seated cat-cow movement. Okay. So sitting a little bit more forward, feet planted firmly on the ground, hands on the knees. We're going to inhale up, arch the back, look towards the ceiling. Exhale, drop chin to chest, tuck tailbone, curl the spine. I want everyone to just flow with their breath, go at your own pace, inhaling up. Exhaling down, rounding the back, dropping chin to chest. Let's do this 3 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling, rounding the back. Whichever breath feels more comfortable to you. Let's make sure we get one more in. Opening the chest, breathing in, looking up. Exhaling, rounding, massaging that stuff. Okay. And for those of you that are comfortable, let's try a downward facing dog with our chair. We're just I just like to always inhale arms up overhead and exhale into the seat in front of us. If you feel comfortable doing full down dog, by all means, please do. But for now, I'm going to demonstrate our chair down dog. If you need to stay seated, it would be really good to modify, pretend I'm seated in a chair, and just find a space for yourself to reach out and do this movement right here. Just reach out, find a place to rest your forehead if you'd like. We're going to hold this for a couple more breaths. I like to keep my knees bent on the modified down dog, reaching back, deep breathing. When you're in a pose like down dog, you might feel the breath a little bit more in the upper part of your torso because you're kind of folded down in half, and that's good. That's good. A lot of shallow breathing can contribute to a lot of stuck ribs and just problems in the shoulder area. So the deep breaths help on so many levels. And then we're going to finish up with a little guided meditation. So I want you to either be seated comfortably in the seated rest pose on the floor or just cross-legged. Whatever's comfortable for you. And we're going to start with a nice humming or buzzing bee breath, or if you would prefer ocean, it's up to you. And let's begin. Breathing in through your nose. I'm going to do my seated comfortable. You do what's comfortable for you. Then we're going to exhale our hum. Let's do that 3 more times. Last one. Now we're going to transition into either deep belly breathing or ocean breath. Inhaling through our nose for a 6 to 8 count. Exhaling through our nose or mouth for a 6 to 8 count. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, close your eyes, relax. We're going to do a little visualization. We're going to visualize a white ball of light. It's this little orb floating over you. This healing ball of light energy. It's come to help you out. It's come to help you relax. And this ball of light is going to make its way through your body as it hovers towards your feet. It's going to start to bathe you in its healing light, starting with your toes. And as you feel the warmth and the healing from the light work its way up through your ankles, having just left your foot, working its way up your calves, you start to feel relaxation. You feel your legs start to relax open, a little less tension. The light makes its way up the calves to the knees, healing, releasing positive energy into every cell in your body, working its way up. It's now addressing the thighs, the front, the back of the legs, the hips, the thighs. And with every exhalation, we feel a little bit more relaxed as this healing orb continues to work through and all the way up, passes through your abdominal area, past your belly button, all the way up into your chest, continuing the healing, your fingertips, your forearms. Relax just a little bit more as it works its way through. Work through your neck, throat. Feeling very relaxed now, very grounded. The light continues through your jaw, relaxing it just a little bit more. Through our face, working its way up and exiting the crown of our head. Should be fully relaxed now. Having focused on our breath, the healing light, the energy, grounding. Knowing that you are safe. You are beautiful. You are worthy. And this planet is so glad that you are here. Gravity is proof of that. Take your time. Take a couple of more deep breaths in this relaxed position. When you're ready, Your eyes are closed, you can open them. Do a little wiggle movement if you need to kind of bring yourself out of it. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You're lying on the floor, you can roll over onto one side in fetal position. Whatever's comfortable for you. When you're ready and you're done, you may sit up and I will say namaste. Traditional class ending to all yoga classes, the light in me sees the light in you. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm available for questions.
That was lovely. Let me stop recording and
Thank you.
let's go to questions.